Hello, and welcome back to my channel. On Monday, November 10th, 2025, the United States Supreme Court rejected former Kentucky clerk Kim Davis's attempt to overturn same-sex marriage. This decision was, without a doubt, the correct course of action. Had the Supreme Court decided to hear the case and ruled that same-sex marriage was unconstitutional, it would have undone decades of progress and potentially opened the door for attacks on other fundamental rights, including interracial marriage and other critical civil rights victories for minority groups, such as the right of individuals with disabilities to live in the least restrictive environment as established in the Olmstead decision. On August 22, 2025, I made a video on this channel discussing this issue in depth. In the video, I highlighted how, historically, states, particularly in the South before the Civil War, did not always honor the sanctity of marriage. Slave owners routinely destroyed families, showing that marriage is a vital form of legal protection. If the Supreme Court had ruled against same-sex marriage, these legal protections could have been stripped away from many people, not just gay and lesbian couples, but interracial marriage as well. The ruling, written by Justice Anthony Kennedy, established marriage equality as a constitutional right under both the Due Process and Equal Protection Clauses of the 14th Amendment. Kim Davis's refusal to issue marriage licenses on religious grounds cannot and should not serve as a legal defense. To be clear, I am not an attorney, and this is not legal advice, but according to the Associated Press, this issue escalated to the Supreme Court only because Kim Davis refused to pay $360,000 in damages. This costly situation might have been avoided if Davis and her staff had been properly guided to fulfill their constitutional duties as a public servant, which would have prevented unnecessary legal complications, court cases, and her subsequent incarceration. I was particularly frustrated when Mrs. Davis compared herself to the civil rights icon, Rosa Parks, during her incarceration. This comparison was unfounded. Rosa Parks was a black woman who, out of exhaustion from enduring racial injustice, refused to give up her seat on a Montgomery city bus, a public bus, challenging the city of Montgomery's segregation and discrimination system. In contrast, Kim Davis, a white woman in a position of privilege and authority, was elected to her office and was, in fact, the one committing an injustice by denying same-sex couples their right to marriage licenses as a county clerk. The Equal Protection Clause found in Section 1 says this: "No state shall deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws." The First Amendment to the United States Constitution guarantees the freedom of religion, allowing everyone to choose and practice their faith. However, this freedom does not permit anyone to deny others their legal rights based solely on personal beliefs. For instance, it would be unreasonable, frankly absurd, for an Amish person to sue someone for using electricity or driving a car simply because they themselves choose to use a horse and buggy. Our freedom of religion ends when another's rights begin, as established in Section 1 of the 14th Amendment. The Supreme Court's unanimous decision on November 10, 2025, reaffirms the importance of equal rights and highlights the progress that the United States has made. It sends a powerful message. Discrimination will not be tolerated within our borders, including Alaska, Hawaii, and Puerto Rico. I believe that all couples deserve the same legal recognition and protection under the law, as outlined in Section 1 of the 14th Amendment concerning marriage and other civil rights. While this decision is worth celebrating, it also underscores the need for a constitutional amendment that codifies marriage equality for all. Such an amendment would prevent individuals like Kim Davis, Judge Roy Moore, or organizations like Chick-fil-A, the 700 Club, and the Salvation Army from petitioning the Supreme Court or Congress to overturn basic rights, such as marriage, based on personal or religious prejudice. I encourage everyone to support businesses and organizations that respect civil and human rights for all while boycotting those who want nothing more than to see a second Holocaust. There is also a need for the United States Social Security Administration to repeal the marriage penalty for individuals with disabilities who receive Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, so that everyone can access the right to marriage, regardless of who they are or whom they love. While there is currently no law repealing the marriage penalty for individuals with disabilities, several pieces of legislation have been introduced in both houses of Congress. These include the Marriage Equality for Disabled Adults Act and the Eliminating the Marriage Penalty and SSI Act, which aim to remove the financial penalties associated with marriage for people with disabilities. These proposed laws would amend programs like SSI and Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, to prevent couples from losing benefits due to legal marriage. Basic rights in the United States must be protected from bad actors who think they're right. No matter your political affiliation, Democrat, Republican, or Independent, we should all agree that marriage is a civil right for everyone. It is about respecting civil and human rights. In conclusion, marriage is not only a civil right, but it is a fundamental right that all developed nations should embrace. By recognizing marriage as a fundamental right, societies honor the dignity and equality of individuals, fostering a culture of inclusion and respect. Upholding marriage equality is not just a matter of legal protection, but also a reflection of our collective commitment to fairness and justice. As we move forward, it is essential for nations around the world to advance these principles, ensuring that all people, regardless of background, ability, or whom they love, are afforded equal recognition under the law. This progress relies on both vigilant advocacy and continued legislative reforms, reminding us that the journey toward true equality is ongoing and demands our shared dedication. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel. I will see you soon.